Hey guys, before you watch this video, new update on Logan or Bananarama or Vaxi, Tribe, all that hacker bot stuff going on. It has been caught, not terminated, but Timeworks, the channel that I linked in a video a while ago, he figured out who the people were behind the bots, and apparently they don't hack your YouTube channel. What they do is they grow channels and they sell them, and then the people who buy them, you have to kind of partner with them for a day before you get the channel. And then once you get the channel, they'll just hack you right back, and they'll take the channel from you and keep the profits, change the name, and sell it again. So the only way you're going to get hacked is if you buy one of these homemade YouTube channels with 100,000 fake subscribers, and just don't do that and you'll be fine. I'm going to keep comments off until YouTube does something about this, because it's really annoying, and don't want people going over to their channels and falling for the trap. But we should be getting comments back pretty soon, and this whole ordeal will be over. Anyways, on to the video. But first, be sure to check out Timeworks' latest video, which kind of explains all this in detail. Hey guys, Zedian here today, and take a look at my notebook. You can see we are going to be cloning today. And also got a new package. So basically, as you noticed, I said it a bunch of times, the coffee trees are getting really yellow. And that is because they have a huge lack of iron. So this should be Azomite rock dust. So, let's see if that's actually what it is and if I can actually get it out. Oh wow, this is very powdered. Yeah, take a look at this. So this is, it's micronized. All right, if you take a look at this, we got potash in there, calcium, magnesium, chlorine, and sodium, like decent amounts of each of these. So this should be good. Give a lot of nutrients to our coffee plants. I don't see any iron in there, but I don't know. It's packed with all the other nutrients, and it is a volcanic rock, like a crushed rock. So I think it should work. So I did some research, and this is a volcanic ash, but it's not crushed rock. So we got some of that coming on the way. It's not going to get here for a week, so we're going to put some of this on our coffee plant, just one of them, just to see if it helps out with the yellowing. All right, so with this, just going to pour a little bit on the surface. We're not going to dig it into the ground. Just going to pour a little bit around the surface. Like that, around where the leaves are. And you'll notice I'm keeping these plants. That's because I want the soil to be kind of trapped. We're not putting too much of this stuff because I haven't used it before, and this is just really an experiment to see if it'll help out the plant long enough until we get the real volcanic rock dust, like the scoria and basalt crushed up, all like that. But I think you just want to mix it into the soil like that. I don't think you need to water it. Just mix it in enough so that the top of the roots can kind of climb up and get to it, but they'll still be shaded by all these little plants around here, which I haven't identified yet. But yep, just like that. Mix it all in, and then just bring up a little bit of soil on top. There you go. See if that helps out the plant. And I'm only trying it out on this plant because, well, first of all, this one, it's the only one that's yellow. We go over here. He is wilting a little bit, but he's not yellowing at all. So I think this one will be okay. Oh, just a little bit right there. We will put the rock dust on him when the time comes, once we get it. But just for now, we're going to put it on this one. All right, let's go do some grafting. All right, we're here at my church. And there it is. Guava tree. No idea how it got there. I think it looks planted. It looks it's a really nice looking tree, but I think something just fell or something. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take not only cuttings, but we're also going to take one of these. This is a root kind of. It's not a sapling. It's kind of a shoot that came out of the roots, and may have some roots attached. So we're gonna see if we can get one of those. I got one of the wooded parts, and this is what you're after, and that looks like a direct cut. Alright, so let's see. Let's take one of these. This is my first time ever doing any kind of grafting or cloning. I do know you want to get kind of a woody kind of branch. Pencil thick, I guess. Wow, this is quite rubbery. Alright, I think that's a little bit new for now, but we'll try it. We're gonna get quite a few grafts. I think we're gonna try to get 4. So there's one. Yeah, up in here has some pretty good ones because they've got a bit of wood, more of a woody texture. They still are very green on the inside, but this one's got a bit of bark. It is making a fruit though, and we're gonna have to cut that off. We'll take one of these. Yeah, this is stronger. Still a little bit green. Oh, and that one looks like it was someone already took part of it off. And let's go from a different place. All right, this one, it's growing straight out of the trunk of the actual tree. So I don't know if it's old, but it's still green on the inside. So I'm thinking maybe that one will be good. None of them are too woody. Most of them are actually very, very rubbery and pliable. But this one should be good. Now let's take our ground one. Okay, so you might realize there's already a hole dug around here. This was here before I came today. I already had tried to dig this up, and I thought it was a fruit that had dropped, but it's not. It's actually it's a root shoot kind of thing. So the roots grew out, and some leaves decided to pop up. So this might be a little bit easier to graft since it has some root structure already developed. That's why we got this shovel there. So see this? You can see that that's pretty much root. Like that's part of the main root system. It's a bit rotted actually, maybe because it was exposed. But we're gonna try and see if this, starts to grow roots easier. But you just want to try a little bit of everything. That's why we're getting 5 different branches, because if one thing doesn't work, we'll have another thing that might work. All right, well, I got my backpack full of trees and ready to head back. All right, we're back, and let's see what we got here. There's 1, there's 2, 3, here's the rooted one, and 5 right there. This one's good, it's pretty woody. So, the first thing we're gonna do is, let's take our knife, and we're gonna just heat this knife up a little bit. I don't have alcohol, so I'm not gonna do it that way, but this should cleanse it a little bit. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is you gotta cut the leaves out. So I don't think I need to do this with, well, you don't need to do it with a knife really. You can though if you want to scrape off a little bit of a spot like that. See where the roots can come out of. You kind of wound it. So I'm gonna try that with one of them. For this one, let's do that. Let's cut around the bud. See, this is my first time trying to do any kind of grafting at all, or cloning trees this way. I've cloned plenty of things, but never tried to clone trees. And the rest, we'll just take off the leaves, and the top part won't be even used at all, so don't need to worry about that. And let's do the rest. Alright, I'm just gonna cut open one of these guavas and see what it looks like on the inside. Nothing's grown. I doubt. Oh, it tastes kind of like a guava, but well, really dry and kind of sour, very, very dry. I'm gonna throw all these leaves away, and then we'll start working on the grafts. All right, for the limbs right here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some 6 to 10 inch ones. I don't think that matters too much. Just right about up to the wooded part where it stops. So this one will be about 9 inches. And right here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make kind of a sloped cut. Cut all the way across, just like that. You can see it's kind of like a right triangle right up there. Now bottom, well, I mean, we already did it, but again, we can cut. Oh, there's a bud right there, so I'm not gonna cut it. You want to cut below the bud, not on the bud. You want to make sure that there's enough so that they can start to grow roots, because that's where they're going to grow the roots out of. It's right here, those little nodules. Let's see, on this one, we're going to bruise it up a little bit, kind of just cut on the outsides, scrape off a little bit so that maybe the roots will start to form out from that, because you know that's what I did with the lychee, and it grew a bunch. It grew some leaves out of that. And yeah, just like that, that's how we're gonna do it. Also, these will be a little bit different, just the way I do it, so I'm gonna put some tags on them just so I know what they're like underneath the soil. Alright, we got them all done, and now we're gonna make some rooting hormone and get some little containers for them. So, you know, since we're doing all this for free, I thought we might as well do the rooting hormone for free. So right here we got about a teaspoon or half teaspoon of honey and half a cup of boiling water, and we'll just let that cool. And this is a few drops of apple cider vinegar in a half cup of water. The other thing we're going to try and use is human saliva. Apparently works as a great rooting hormone. Kind of gross, but we'll try that with one of them. The rest we'll just use these two for. And there's plenty of other things you can try if you don't have either of these two for some reason. First of all, of course, you could use actual rooting hormone. You could also use crushed aspirin, cinnamon if you have that, aloe vera, plenty of things. You're going to have your pots right next to it so you can put them in right after they've been dipped in the rooting hormones. So we're gonna make that real quick. So I just got them filled up with soil, and I found that a cookie, this is not cookies, muffin sheet is great for putting these guys in. All right, I've already done the saliva hormone one, which is this, the root one. You kind of have to dig a bit of a hole to get them down. I used a pencil for these ones. But you want them to be like 2/3 of the way submerged, because out of these nodules is where the roots are going to form. So for both of these, I think you just, this one's honey. Looks like you just dip it in a little bit, and it'll get on that kind of like braised up part, and that should do the trick. So we'll put it in probably as far as it can go, because most of the tips of here, that's not quite 2/3 of the way. But hopefully this will work. I don't know what kind of results we're gonna get. Oh, just bury that up a little bit under there. And also these things can dry out, so what we're gonna do is put some saran wrap on the outsides, and see, whoops, let's turn that around. There are little signs. Looks a bit weird. Okay, fine, go like that. We'll put some saran wrap around them. This is the vinegar, so that they don't dry up. Not all of them. I'm just gonna try it with a few of them just to experiment. This is all an experiment. In fact, I could totally go out and buy a guava tree right now. I could absolutely do that, and it would probably 100% work, and I'd probably get guavas, within a few years. But really, I'm just doing this because, we've planted most of our large plants, and now it's time to start experimenting with grafting and cloning and stuff like this. Alright, so put some saran wrap around them. That is supposed to help them from drying out. Doesn't look too great. I don't think I did the best job you could. But you can use this. You can also use grafting tape. That's probably better to use. I only did it on some because I want to split everything in half in case it, I don't know, maybe rots on the inside for some reason. Something like that. But yeah, pretty much all of these are all set. I'm gonna date them real quick. But basically, yeah, you just leave it like this. Make sure the soil stays moist,
kind of in indirect sunlight. I might move it a little bit so it gets a little bit less sunlight. It needs a little bit, but it wants to stay pretty cold actually, like around, well, depending on what some people think. I'd say you want 60 to 80 degrees probably, just a normal kind of room temperature. That's why we're keeping it indoors here. And I think we can see there's a bunch of plants. You'll see in another episode. It's really starting to fill up in here, so I think we're gonna get a table in here, and this will be kind of our greenhouse room until we actually get a real one, because I've just been, you know, planting so many different kind of plants in here, propagating them, and it's a great place to start growing stuff. So, because like outside, just a bit too hot, you know, to start growing anything from scratch. But anyways, yeah, I hope these things grow. And the main reason I'm just doing it is just to experiment, because we are going to want to be grafting our fruit trees. We're probably going to want to graft some flowering branches on them next year, because I don't think they're going to make flowers on their own. So I want to get into, you know, grafting and just cloning and all that stuff. We'll probably fertilize that. We'll probably get the rock dust soon, fertilize the coffee plants, and do a bunch more stuff. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Hope these guava trees grow.